Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel, where we unpack South African politics without the sugarcoating. If you're tired of recycled slogans, empty promises, and more drama than a weekday soapy, then you're in the right place. Be sure to like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments section. We want to hear from you. Now, let's talk about what just shook the political streets of Mzansi. ActionSA leader Herman Mashaba has finally admitted something that many South Africans have been quietly whispering for months now: he underestimated Jacob Zuma. Yes, you heard that right. The man who built a political brand on clean governance, business sensibilities, and a sharp tongue for corruption has confessed he didn't take uBoba seriously when he launched the MK party. And honestly, many political analysts didn't either. They chuckled when Zuma first popped up with his new party logo and a name that sounded like a military reunion. But no one's laughing now. Let's break it down. Herman Mashaba, the former Johannesburg mayor and leader of ActionSA, recently told the media that when he first heard Jacob Zuma was starting a new political party, he brushed it off. He thought, maybe this was just another ego project or a retirement hobby for Zuma. After all, how much political fire could Zuma still have after years of legal troubles and declining public image? But Mashaba's tune has changed drastically. He now openly says he was wrong. And not just a little wrong, completely underestimated Zuma's political magnetism, especially in provinces like KwaZulu-Natal and parts of Gauteng. According to recent by-election results and political polls, the MK party is not just gaining ground, it's shaking the very foundation of the ANC in its former strongholds. And if you think this is just smoke, let's look at the numbers. The MK party, despite being barely 2 years old, has performed unexpectedly well in several by-elections. In KZN, their support base is no longer limited to just die-hard Zuma fans. We are seeing traditional ANC supporters jumping ship, and even young voters, disillusioned with both the ANC and EFF, giving MK party a chance. So, how did this happen? Well, Jacob Zuma might be many things: controversial, defiant, legally embattled, but one thing you can never take from him is his ability to connect with a certain part of the South African population. To them, Zuma is more than a former president. He's a symbol of resistance against what they see as a disconnected elite. Zuma plays the man of the people a role like a seasoned veteran. He doesn't speak in polished soundbites or tweet about policy frameworks. He dances, sings struggle songs, and reminds people of what they feel they've lost: pride, recognition, and dignity. Now, while Herman Mashaba tries to appeal to the urban middle-class voter with his tough talk on immigration, crime, and economic reform, Zuma's appeal is more emotional. It's about identity. And in a country where many feel forgotten by the system, emotion can beat spreadsheets every day of the week. Let's not forget the ANC's current situation. It's no secret, the party is bleeding. Scandals, factional fights, and declining service delivery have turned many once loyal voters into skeptics or, worse, political orphans. The MK party swooped in at just the right time, offering not necessarily a solution, but a familiar face in a storm. So when Mashaba says he underestimated Zuma, it's more than just a moment of political humility, it's a reflection of how quickly the political landscape is changing. Even the EFF, which once dominated the conversation around radical change, seems to be watching the MK party with growing concern. Why? Because Zuma's style, rebellious, grassroots, unapologetically populist, is cutting into their base too. And for Mashaba, whose ActionSA brands itself as a clean, non-racial, pro-business alternative, the rise of Zuma represents a completely different type of threat. Now, let's add some spice to this mix. What does this mean for the upcoming national elections? Well, here's where things get messy and exciting. If the MK party continues on its upward trajectory, especially in places like KZN and Gauteng, we could see coalition politics on steroids. Imagine a post-election scenario where no single party wins a majority. Suddenly, Zuma becomes kingmaker. Not because he has 50% of the vote, but because he holds just enough seats to force a coalition. Would the ANC ever work with Zuma again after everything that's happened? Would the EFF team up with him and risk their own identity crisis? Would ActionSA even consider it? Mashaba's made it clear he wants nothing to do with political figures tied to corruption, but politics, as we all know, is the art of the possible. And let's not ignore the irony here. Mashaba, who built a reputation for speaking hard truths and calling out dodgy dealings, is now having to admit he misjudged one of South Africa's most controversial figures. It's not just a strategic misstep, it's a moment that highlights how personal politics still are in this country. Now, to be fair to Mashaba, he did say that despite Zuma's appeal, ActionSA remains focused on the core issues: unemployment, corruption, and poor service delivery. He believes that voters are looking for real solutions, not just nostalgia. And there's truth in that. But as we've seen time and time again, emotion often beats logic at the polls. Let's be honest, South African politics is a roller coaster, not a chessboard. You've got Zuma, the comeback king, turning retirement into a revival tour. You've got Mashaba, the businessman turned politician, recalculating his strategy. The ANC is stumbling, the EFF is watching closely, and voters, well, they're stuck in the middle, trying to make sense of it all. So, where do we go from here? That depends on you, the voter. Are you swayed by charisma or credibility? Do you want change, or do you want familiarity? Are you willing to forgive the past for the sake of disrupting the present? Whatever your answer, one thing's clear: the road to 2026 is going to be wild. And we'll be here every step of the way to unpack the drama, the debates, and the unexpected twists. Let us know in the comments, did Herman Mashaba do the right thing by admitting his mistake? Can Zuma's MK party actually shake things up in parliament? Or is this just another political wave that will fade as quickly as it rose? Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown. Subscribe for more hard-hitting, no-nonsense South African political commentary. And as always, thank you for spending your time with us. Stay informed. Stay critical. And above all, stay involved. See you next time.